Hi there. Welcome back to Sunnyside Journals. I'm doing a little bit more work because 'tis the season. Uh, this this time I am going to continue doing a bit of work on the cover of the Better Homes and Gardens cookbook, which is going to be turned into a mid-century modern domestic Christmas goddess. That's the working title. So I believe it's starting to become a blur of Christmas journals. They're all in various stages of being worked on here in my studio. But I believe the last time we left off, I wasn't sure about different pictures that I liked, and I did settle on this picture, and I did decide that let me move this. I want a small mat underneath onto this larger black mat right there. And then this is just loose, but it gives you an idea of what it will look like. And then a book plate. And then this all is what is going to cover the old wording on it. Maybe about there, I think, is where we will put it. So it will, that's the plan, just like that. I really love that. And I think it plays into, it makes it look all on purpose, because I really want to leave this be so that you know what it was. And it was a 1968 edition of this cookbook. So I really love that. So that's what we're going to work on today. So we've got to layer these all together. So we'll do that together. This is vintage photo album paper. I have doubled it up, so I made it a little bit thicker, just to give it a little bit more dimension. And I want that ink dark. There's a bit of glue that has squeezed out the side, so I'm just going to cover that with some permanent ink. So that edge is just really nice and dark. Okay, I have Mod Podged around the edge. I didn't do the whole thing. There was no point Mod Podging here, because that's going to be underneath the photo, and I didn't want it starting to buckle it. But I also I wanted a bit of a sheen to it, so I don't know if you can see when I do this. Do you see where I've Mod Podged? I wanted that little bit of a sheen. It gives it almost a leathery look, so I like that. Now I'm just sort of smoothing down those edges that were cut, so that sometimes you get a little lip. Yeah. Come on, you're really giving me grief. I can see a little bit of it's either the glue or the Mod Podge. When I glued it together, I used 3-in-1. And I'm going to continue to use 3-in-1 to glue these layers together, because it's acetone based. I should, never say never, but I should get less buckling. I always use 3-in-1 when I do end papers and such. So that's the plan. I'm just getting this ready to go. I don't want it messing up on me. All right, so this is slightly off-white because this book is old, and this I suspect at one time was white is no longer white. So the off-white looks nicer than if I used pure white. So for example, there's pure white. Do you see the difference? It's not nice. So this is actually a creamy color on purpose. And I find it looks nicer with how creamy that door is and the posts on the staircase. So that's why that is the way it is. Now I just want to make sure in case there is a good side and then, yep, this is the side I want. I want the glue on this side. So thin bead around the edge. And then a little bit everywhere. Now I'm going to do a quick thing. I just want to smooth it out around. I'm sorry if you can't see. I'm using this and I'm smoothing this out quickly. A little bit more there. Because I don't want it to squirt out when I lay it down and I push on it. So that's the reasoning for that. I don't want any 3-in-1. Let me make sure I've got this in the right direction because it's not a perfect square. Yep, that's it. All right, let's do this. I'm just eyeballing. Fortunately, 3-in-1 and Fabri-Tac give you a bit more time. There we go. Sorry, something was, oh, and it's stuck there too. Okay, I'm going to leave that be. As long as I don't push that in, it's a little blob of the 3-in-1. Hold on and I'll show you after I smooth this out. That will come off with my eraser if I let it finish drying. If I wipe it right now, I'll mash it into the fibers of the paper and then it'll be there for sure. So I'm just going to, here, let me show you. This little bit is what I'm talking about. I'm just going to be patient and that will come up with a little gnarly rubber. So I'm going to pause for a second and just give this a minute to dry. Okay, so let's, so these little gnarly kind of erasers, I get mine at Dollar Tree and it'll roll it right off, gone. And I see another one up here. So that's where you have to have some faith in it and just step back and let the glue dry. And you should be able to just roll it right off. But if you go, oh no, and do that, you'll smear it right into the paper and there's no getting it off. But if it's just laying on top, it'll dry laying on top and you can roll it right off. All right, let's do this one. I have already, while I had a minute, while it was paused, I have already inked that raw edge with black. Let me move this again. Nice. Come on. Let me make sure I am. Sorry if the camera seems far away. I just want to make sure I have enough room for me to work and still be able to bring you along with me today. We have a beautiful sunny day today where I am. It's actually nice and warm. You really barely need a jacket, maybe just a flannel shirt. It's beautiful. It's a perfect day to do some fall cleanup in the yard, last minute things. I want to go out later on and cut back my hydrangea and that sort of thing. We've got a big maple tree in our backyard, and but it gets its leaves late in the spring and then it hangs on to them late into the fall. So we call him Dougie. His name's Dougie Gilmore because he's a maple leaf. Dougie holds on to his leaves well into November, and so we usually don't have any raking to do until then. So again, this is 3-in-1, so it gives you a little slippy slidey time, whereas art glitter glue, there's like no slippy slidey time with art glitter glue. That's it, you're done, plop it down, walk away. There, that looks really nice. Very nice. Now I want to see where the center, how wide is this? It's a little bit more than 6. Where are you? There we go. All right, so 0 is right there. Where's my pencil? There we go. So if I want you, a bit. Nope. I'm going to bring you up and onto it a bit. Sorry if you can't see that. But you know what? Now I can't either, so I'm going to leave that right where it was. Where did my block go? I had a spacer block. Let's see if that, nope, that's too wide. No, I'm just going to have to be good and eyeball it. I'm going to use my white, there it is. Here's the one I want. My white jelly pen. See, when I touch it, I move it. Because it's so slippy. All right, that's okay. That's good. All right, that's good. Now I'm going to let that dry. And I'm going to find my Pokey Mat. So hold on. Okay, so I've got out my, this is just one of those garden kneeling pads. I use it all the time when I'm poking the holes for signatures, but I'm also going to use it today. I use it when I'm poking holes so that I can put brads through a hole. So what I'm going to do is, I do want to put a little tiny bit of 3-in-1 just on here, just a bit, just to prevent the paper label from slipping right through. So just a little bit. This is not intended to hold the book plate in place. The brads will hold it in place, but this will hold it while I'm working too for a little bit. There we go. That's good. I'm just going to take one last look at this and make sure I like it, because I still have the option to move it if I want. All right, so now good old awl right through it. And then right through here. There we go. I'm just trying to see if there's any displacement here that I want to remove, and there is, and I'm going to have to do it very gently because I don't want to move that book plate. but this is sort of like when there's a little blemish of the paper because you've poked through, right? And I want this to lie as flat as possible, and I'm going to be putting a brad through it, so that's going to bulk it up even more. So I just simply want to remove that little volcano that happens. All right. Oh, good. You behaved yourself. Now let's find some silver. Teeny little silver. That's silver. And your silver. I better go through all of these before this Christmas season is over. I have to keep my eye out again. I find for metal goods, I do better on Garage Sale and Facebook Marketplace than at my thrift stores. I find that crafters are more likely to first try and sell their unwanted craft goods before they're ready to just give them over to the thrift store. So that's something to keep in mind. Come on, in you go. There we go. There we go. I'm going to flip this over. There. I'm just finding where it splits so I can get it to start opening. There we go. Okay. Oh, that looks nice. Now, where's our little makeshift one? Nope, that's not it. But let's just cut this so it looks like it. You know me, I'm a visual kind of person. And I do better when I can see what my imagination wants it to be. That helps me a lot. Let's just take that off. I also find when I'm putting book plates in, I find they stay in better. They go in better and stay in better if you do a folded one. So that's why that's like that on purpose. There, that's going to look nice. And that's the same paper that I used for the off-white, the off-white layered mat. Now, let's see how this looks. That's exactly what I was hoping for. That's beautiful. Isn't that nice? It looks like it's always been that way. Love it. Now, what I will do is I will give my journal a working name, just so I have something to call it while I've got it. But then what the new owner can do is pop that up and out, flip it over, and put their own title on it if they don't like what I've been calling it. So, who knows? This might be the domestic Christmas goddess. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. All right, how am I for time? We've got some time. All right, I'm not going to glue this on yet. This is going to be, I don't want to say goof-proof, but it's going to be fairly goof-proof. To glue this on, I will be using 3-in-1, or Fabri-Tac would work. But, and I got to tell you, I left the block in on purpose because it's easier to be working and pressing down on a full binder than an empty one. But now I want to get these end papers out, and I want to do some work on the end papers, and I'm just worried that if I'm flipping and opening and bashing and being rough, then I could possibly damage my beautiful cover. So that's going to be set aside until I'm finished with the end papers. Oh my goodness, I see a cobweb in there. 1968 cobweb. These things are not, I didn't realize it had one of those. These things are handy, and I always keep one in mine. I have a Better Homes and Garden book that I use. I call it my desk book. And these are not your usual ring spacing that a standard binder has. So I keep this handy so that I can pop it out and use it with my hole punch to put holes in at the right spot for when I want to add more papers into my binder. So that will be going with this binder. But what we need to do now is we need to try and get these end papers off, because this Christmas Domestic Goddess needs Christmassy end papers, and I think I've found the perfect ones. Oh, that's up. That's good. So not terribly exciting, but necessary. There we go. That side's all right because I can cut the end paper long enough to cover that. All right, let's do this side. Oh, I love when they come up nicely. Thank you, Better Homes and Gardens. Oh, that side wasn't so nice. I spoke too soon. Come on, be good. Thank you. Oh, you're going to be a little stinker, are you? Okay, I see where we're going to need some glue. There, beautiful. All right, I'm happy. All right, so let's set it here. Now I'm just going to, before I put down new end papers, I'm going to put a little bit, I gotta refill this. I'm going to put a little bit of 3-in-1 underneath that corner. Come on. Did you plug up while I wasn't using you? Be good. I'm going to check all the corners while I'm at it. Sometimes with an old mushy book, I will put fabric to protect those corners from denting, but this book is just 1968. It's not that old. And it's a binder, so I'm not anticipating that it's going to give me too much grief. So I'll just use my clips. Well, let's see if that one is loose or not. You're okay. All right. Let's see how you are. You're okay. All right. Oh, you're a mess. Where is... There we go. Oh, you're not done, huh? There. Lucky mess. That's how I know when I've got to add a bit of acetone and refill. All right, let me show you what I'm hoping to use for end papers. And then I have a big decision to make, whether to make new Christmas dividers or find a way to incorporate these old ones. And you know me, my heart is telling me I need to find a way to incorporate the original ones. It's just that section number 2 is barbecues. But I guess there's places in the world that for the holidays will do some kind of barbecue. I know a lot of people do smoke their turkey, put it out on the smoker. So who knows? I could leave it be, and the new owner can always put new labels over top of those words, which is what I did in my desk book. For some of them, I just put completely new labels right over top. So I know that's an option. All right, let me show you. I have a feeling this book, I just found this one recently, just this year, is going to come in really handy for the domestic Christmas goddess. It's got some beautiful illustrations in it. I love this one. I'm thinking of this one for the back end page. And then I'm thinking this one. I like this one for the front end page because it's got food. So there's a Christmas cake and cookies, and there's some little nibblies and cheese, and it looks like sausage rolls and a pot of tea. So I really like that. And there's the tree and that. And I think that would make a really pretty end paper. Now what else? I had another one here that I've put aside. See, I was tempted for this one. These are certainly big enough. But that looks more like a front cover, but not for this front cover. Whereas these two look like end papers. They look like, oh, you've come in the house, welcome into the house, you know, sit down, put your feet up, have some tea and a piece of Christmas cake. And then, you know, you're getting ready to go and the house looks cozy, the kitty cat's asleep. Yeah. All right, so I've got to slice these out of here. How am I for time? Oh, I got 3 more minutes. All right, well, we can get started. I want as much room as possible. I will have to trim it down, but I like to decide where the trim is going to be. So, but there's so much more in this book that I'm hoping to make use of, and I will show you. Even look at that, like, isn't that beautiful? I'd like to cover end papers, or not end papers, the dividers. I'd like to cover them with like pictures like that. It's just a really, really nice book. Oh, never yank, just in case it's still really hanging on. If you've ever done, I've done it, torn the whole corner right off. So, never yank. It'll let go when it's ready. Come on, you're not ready yet. There we go. Beautiful. All right, get that out of the way. Put that out of the way so I can remove these. Now, let's take a look so you can see what I've been imagining. So here's the book. So I'm thinking this right here. I think I will cut off a bit from this side, and I like that candle, so I think I'm going to try and hang on to that candle. There's a little bit of a kettle there. Oh no, don't tell me that. How am I? 29 minutes. All right, well, anyhow, I like that top edge there. And then let's see the back here. That's better. And that's better. Good. And then here, look how cute. And the red is a warm red, so it looks nice with the check pattern that's on the cover. Oh yeah, I love that. I love it. So excited. All right. Well, listen, thanks for joining me today. I've run out of time and I'm going to get cut off any second. Where's our little cover that we worked on together? So this will be going on, but not until I have the end papers done. Then I'll be able to work on the interior actually without even touching the cover. I can just work on those because it's a binder and I'll just put them in when they're done. But to do the end papers, I didn't want this on yet. Oh, that's going to be great. Well, have a great rest of your day and we'll talk soon. Bye.